It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four, invite them. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep us showing up to witness. Spit the tricks and quips and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize the vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for Jawjacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave it feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good Friday morning, everybody. Today is Friday, May 2nd, 2025. This is episode 867 of your Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast here at Simply Cyber. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, me, you, Joe Hudson, Marcus Kyler of the E Crew, TJ Williams, Mondo Avilia, Not Only IT, Jesse Johnson, Jenny Housley, Justin Gold, Casually Joseph, so many regulars, Tech Grunt, Mara Levy, Lara Flores, Augusta Delgado, of course, Triple D. Guys, we are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories. And I'll be doing everything within my power to serve you up insights and value that you can use to immediately apply into your own organization or your own workflows to drive cyber risk reduction down for your business stakeholders and also level yourself up as a professional. On top of that, if you're looking to break into the industry, you're aspiring to be a cybersecurity pro, you will be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current on the industry? This right here, I'm telling you right now, it is a banger of an answer. That's not just marketing fluff or bullcrap. I swear, like ask somebody else who's not got a biased opinion. This is a hell of an answer. I'm telling you right now, you will stay current, you will stay on top, and if you pay attention and engage, not only will you learn terminology and concepts and make sense of the acronyms and other, elements of our industry, but if you bring up something relevant and recent and timely in a job interview, the person interviewing you is going to identify that immediately and recognize that you're not just full of crap, you're actually staying engaged and up to date. And isn't that valuable? Something you can't teach someone to take initiative and be proactive. So stay tuned, we got you covered. Good morning, AA Witherspoon. As always, I want you to know I don't prep or research for these show.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
For the stories we're gonna cover, I am legit. It's authentic. It is what it is. You're going to get my hot takes. I literally have no idea what I'm going to say, which makes it as equally entertaining for me as it is, hopefully, for you. Good morning, Ms. Julian in the great New England region. I hope you're having a good one. Looking forward to the Magic the Gathering at Wild West Hack and Fest. Was talking with Zach Hill about that just last night. Guys, I want you to know, if today's your first episode, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. We have a special welcome, a special emote, a special for you. Good morning, Nerman, out of the Serbian area. Tom Bishop on the boot. Guys, it is Friday, which means only one thing. Our good friend James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet will be dropping by with some dad jokes to kick us off for the weekend, have us going with a smile. No idea where he is right now, but I can tell you definitively he is sitting in seat 3B, eating, like a tiny portion of a meal, drinking out of a real glass somewhere in the skies. Now, before we go any further, before I tell you how this show can solve your CPE problems, let's pay a minute to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this show to you every single day, whether I'm in a hotel room in San Francisco or I'm at the Buffer Auger Flow studio here in the Low Country. Let's do a quick minute. Appreciate it. I'll be chatting with you in chat, if that's a thing. And then when we come back, I'm going to solve all your CPE problems. Let's go. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. I also want to take a quick minute and tell everybody about this very timely event. I was made aware of this just yesterday. Antisyphon Training, who's known for doing all sorts of amazing things for the community. Honestly, I don't self-promote like that, but I'm inspired by Antisyphon and Black Hills Information Security, and I do a lot of things for Simply Cyber that's inspired by what they do. So here's another example. They have a Blue Team Summit. So if you're wondering about blue side defenders, security operations, wanting to work on the defensive side, you want to grow up one day and become Wade Wells or Eric Taylor or Hayden Covington or insert favorite blue teamer here. Blue Team Summit could be a great place to start. This is August 27th, so you have plenty of time to get it on your calendar. It is a free summit. But why am I telling you, Simply Cyber community? Because they actually have a call for papers, CFP, for the Blue Team Summit, and you could have your first talk at Blue Team Summit. So if you've been a little shy, a little imposter syndrome, this summit, kind of like Simply CyberCon, actually has carved out a space for new speakers. So take a step into being uncomfortable. Take a shot, submit for CFP. I'm telling you, as far as building a network and community and delivering value and all the things that I tell people all the time that can help them improve their career, speaking at conferences is one. Take a step. This is a virtual one. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. Submit for a CFP at Blue Team Summit. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Even if you don't get accepted, you'll at least have the experience of going through a CFP process. All right. Now, before we get any further, I do want to pay love to Barricade Cyber Solutions, another sponsor of the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. What I want you to know is Eric Taylor and the team over at Barricade Cyber have developed a solution called Fortify 365, which basically allows them to come in and help you strengthen your Microsoft 365 tenant. There's a lot of configuration. There's a lot of options that you can do in Azure, which is amazing. They give you a lot of power to be very granular and harden things, conditional access, among others. But you may not know exactly what to do, or you want someone who's been around the block 3, 4, 5, 50 times. So that's what Fortify 365 is. You can have them come in, you give them an account, They tune everything up, they pat you on the back, and they move on. If you're wanting to get a little bit of support in kind of a set it and forget it way of elevating your Azure tenants security, go to fortify365.com. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. All right. Every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, people, 867 is half a CPE. Look, it's on the Chiron right there. Grab a screenshot right now. Include the Chiron, but also the show title and description, right, where it says, you know, Cyber News Now. I forget what we call the show, but like top cyber news, May 2nd. Like, get the date in there, get the title, get my face in there, get your name in the chat if you can. And I'm telling you, that's evidence. Count them up once a year, divide by 2, and that's how many CPEs you got. Not only IT, 3 years. Damn, son. Thank you for the support, not only IT, and I can't believe it's been 3 years already, dude. Time flies like a mofo. All right, it is Friday, so we're kicking it like a bunch of bosses sliding into the weekend. Remember, 3 o'clock today is the quarterly state of Simply Cyber. I'm going to pull back the curtain, tell you everything we've been working on this last 90 days, get everybody on the hype train, tell you what we're going to be working on in the next 90 days, and then I'll go back under and keep on grinding. I am working my butt off, y'all, along with so many people in the Simply Cyber community. I'm so excited to share all of these updates with you guys today at 3 p.m., so stay tuned for that. But now, guess what? It's time to get to work, y'all. So if you're a first-timer, drop a hashtag first-timer. But in whether you're first-time or long-time, let's get to work, y'all. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome way. I'll see you all at the mid-roll. Actually, you know what? I'm feeling fun. Let's do some gifted subs too. It resets every month, so I can give out gifted subs. Here we go. 5 new members. Boom. Oh, and Justin Gold, 37 months. Like a subtle flex on not only IT. I'm joking though. It's good. It's good. Thank you all so very much. And to the new squad members, definitely dig into the squad emo tray. FedEx is asking if we're doing the thing. Let me just look at my calendar really quickly. Yeah, we do have the AMA at 1 o'clock. So we do have the AMA at 1 o'clock. So I forgot it's the first Friday. We should be doing bingo. We'll push bingo back a week. I have got my head all the way up my butt today because I'm just busy, guys. I'm old. I'm busy. Code Brew, old enough to grab a pack of Pall Malls? Now, sweetie, I'll take 2 packs of Pall Malls. Let's go, y'all.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, May 2nd, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. UK retailer Co-op suffers cyberattack. One of the largest food retailers in the UK, its full official name is the Cooperative Group, has shut down some of its IT systems due to what spokesperson Mark Carrington describes as, quote, recently experienced attempts, end quote, by hackers to break into some of its systems. As a result, the company's back office and call center functions are facing some disruption. The stores continue to operate normally, and no further details, such as whether the attempted intrusions were successful, or if anything was stolen, or who the perpetrators are currently available.
All right, John Brock says 8 months, but been here over a year. Welcome, and thank you for the continued support, John. I hope you're getting value every single day, not just the 8 months or 12 plus, but every day. Okay, so this, whatever, retail giant, right? They got hit. Their back office, their call center is all dinked up because of an attempted intrusion. Okay, so here's the deal. They were intruded. I'm telling you right now, okay? It is possible. It is not unrealistic for you to detect bad in your environment and just, shut it down, right? Like John Taffer, shut it down. Okay? Now, I will also tell you, there is no way in living heck you would ever shut it down unless you had concrete evidence that threat actors were all up in your business, potentially exfilling, right? When you find someone in your environment who's clicked on a fish or given up creds or accidentally installed malware or done anything, right? Like, you can have active compromise going on in your environment. You don't shut everything down. Like, that decision to shut down part of their business definitely didn't come from someone in the SOC. That definitely didn't come someone in IT. It may have come from the CISO, but honestly, it came from if it did come from the CISO consulted the business side. You don't shut down parts of a business on your own, okay? Tony Jack. All right, love it. Squad member. Listen, so anyways, that's first of all, that's the TLDR. If you didn't know, now you know. Like, you don't shut down things without the business buy-in on it, unless you're looking to get fired. If you're looking to get fired, shut it down. Shut it all down. That's a quick way to get got. All right. Now, because it's a large business, and they said, different parts are being shut down, like the call center and stuff, it's very likely that they've either segmented their network or they just have straight up different facilities. Like, the call center is in, Jacksonville, Florida, and, they were able, and it just like has a network, like an SD-WAN link back to the mothership that's in, like, Schenectady, New York or something, right? Like, you could carve it off that way, which is maybe what is happening. Like, someone in the call center fell for a phish, and that basic network segment got infected and stuff, and they shut it down that way. But when you say experienced attempts by hackers, guys, put a honeypot on the internet and watch within minutes. It'll experience attempts at hacking. Like, any business with any internet facing a surface is going to get probed and prodded all the time. So, like, this is a lot of spin, frankly, like PR spin. They do have to say something. They do have to explain why. Exactly, Cam Godot. I love Biggie. So who knows who did it? If I had to guess, right, gun to my head, or I'm going to bet my kids' college fund, this is a ransomware threat actor, likely an affiliate model, since it was like less effective. And that's it. They'll keep going. Shout out to the SecOps people at Co-op for getting in front of this thing and basically kneecapping it before it could do real damage. Hold on one second. I'm trying to fix this up. All right.
FBI shares list of lab host phishing domains. The FBI has released 42,000 phishing domains linked to LabHost, a major phishing-as-a-service platform dismantled in April 2024. Active from 2021 to 2024, LabHost sold phishing kits targeting US and Canadian banks, offering tools to bypass two-factor authentication and manage campaigns in real time. The platform gained dominance in late 2023, attracting 10,000 global customers. Authorities estimate it stole over 1 million credentials and nearly 500,000 credit card records. The domain list, covering registrations from November 2021 through April 2024, aims to raise awareness and help identify threats.
All right. Dude, these phishing platforms are out of control now. This phishing platform, which grew to, prominence, and by the way, I can see 100% why it would grow to prominence. They were selling the kits for between $179 and $300 a month. So if you got the deluxe Cadillac high roller package, it's only $300 a month. Now, you might be like, dude, $300 a month sounds like a lot. $3,600 a year? What are we talking about here? This is like a lower end car payment. This is like a really nice, I don't know, what else would be $300 a month? Like a family cell phone bill. Like, what are we doing? Well, if you buy the Cadillac high roller package, you can get 2FA bypass, right? Multi-factor bypass, automatic SMS-based interactions with victims. You know, if you don't have time for SMS-based interactions with your victims,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
you know, we got you covered here. Real-time campaign management panel. You can get metrics, trend data. Yeah, this is a fully featured criminal enterprise. Let's go. Again, I don't sponsor or promote criminal activity. It's deplorable. But my point is, you have to look at it like a business. The second you look at it like a business, you can understand motivation and growth and why it's working and what is going on. Their customers, this platform's customers, are criminals. And just like any SaaS platform, they want to add new features, they want to add new functionality, they want to make their customers' experiences frictionless. And I mean, that literally is them focusing time, energy, and effort into making this more effective at committing crime. So for the FBI to take it down, thank you, FBI. I love it. Dude, FBI, open up. Like, let's go. I wish, you know what? I mean, I know they can't do it because the law enforcement people's identity is sensitive and ongoing cases and stuff. But, dude, it would be such, I know they had the show Cops on TV for a number of years, but, like, these, like, cyber criminal crackdowns would be fascinating to see. In fact, if you're interested, if what I just said is interesting to you, let me just share this with you. Quick shout out to Christina Paulika, aka the librarian, who helps maintain this list for us. This book right here, Tracers in the Dark by Andy Greenberg, is phenomenal. Now, this is specific to dark web marketplace operators, and there's 4 stories in here, but 2 of them, one is the Silk Road takedown, and one is the Alpha Bay takedown. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Silk Road was the original dark web marketplace where you could buy like guns and drugs and fake money and stuff. And then Alpha Bay filled the gap when Silk Road got taken down and like took it to the next level, right? Like Alpha Bay was like, hold my beer. And this book actually does a phenomenal job of covering the entire investigation. So if you're interested in going a little bit deeper in these law enforcement takedown stories and really seeing the intricacies, the interactions, and even frankly, the petty infighting between different agencies, this book, Tracers in the Dark, is great. You can go to simplycyber.io/books to get my reading list, if you want to call it that. These are books that I've read and I stand by. I think that they're excellent references for, well, this one I wrote, so, you know, I'm biased, so maybe get someone else's opinion on that one. But, okay, let's keep going.
NSO Group looking at hefty damages in WhatsApp case. The damages trial has now begun following a 5-year court battle between the Israeli spyware maker NSO Group and WhatsApp, owned by Meta. Some experts are predicting a penalty that might lead to the bankruptcy of the spyware manufacturer, which had been found liable in December for hacking 1,400 WhatsApp users back in 2019. However, as Nitansha Bansal, a spyware expert and the assistant director at the Atlantic Council's Cyber Statecraft Initiative, stated, bankruptcy would not be the end of the spyware Pegasus, which is considered to be the most advanced commercial surveillance product in the world. The company could either restructure or simply rebrand the technology, Bansal said.
Obviously, like, dude, they're selling software. They're not, like, bankruptcy. You know, like, now, I don't know what Israeli-based law says around business. What's up, Wade Wells, this guy? I don't know so this company's based out of Israel. I've said it a million times. Israel is like a powerhouse in the cyber software space. Look at many great products, and they come out of Israel originally. So NSO Group has this Pegasus software. Pegasus is known as a massive zero-click, awesome spyware infection. You know, it costs a lot of money per install, so you don't go down to Best Buy and scoop up some Pegasus software and install it on your friend's computer just to screw with them, right? Like, unless you're some high-rolling, you know, like, It makes me think of like David Portnoy from Barstool Sports. I could see him buying this just for like giggles and like screwing with someone in his office. But for most people, this is supposed to be for law enforcement only to hunt down criminals. Like think of it as like a traditional wiretap. But the problem is NSO Group is a private sector for-profit company who likes money.
Straight cash, homie.
And will sell it to people who are using it for other purposes like identifying investigative journalists in their network of people, figuring out what dissidents are doing, squashing rebellion and revolution, right? That's what's up. So they attacked iMessage, right? But also WhatsApp. WhatsApp's owned by Meta. Meta is Facebook. You know, there's a ton of money. They probably have an entire stable of lawyers at Meta, and they've basically sued them for whatever, like damages, which could be in the tens of millions of dollars. This will be an interesting case study. So for me and you, right, it's more about understanding how Pegasus works and spyware works and the dangers of it, and not commingling your work phone and your private phone unless you're okay with that. If you're a high-ranking official or a VIP, you really shouldn't be doing that. But now we get into the business side of things, okay? So NSO Group gets, fined $10 million. No problem. We're going to shut it down. NSO Group doesn't exist anymore. The software still exists. The people who ran it still exist. And they can just spin up a company called, NSO2 Group, or the real NSO Group, if we want to take like a recent trend on social media. And by recent, I mean like 5 years ago. Like the real NSO Group. And instead of Pegasus, it's called Unicorn Software, right? Everybody, me, you, Casually Joseph, all of Unit 42, Roswell, UK across the pond, Tom Bishop on the boot. We all know it's NSO Group. We all know it's Pegasus. And the people who have checkbooks that can write $500,000 checks for an install, they know it's Pegasus too. And this is just, moving the shells around on the table and calling it something else, dude. So, yes, it would be inconvenient and a bit of sand in your shorts of having to shut down this business and spin up another one. But when you have millions of dollars, you can handle a little sand in your shorts, right? I don't know if you guys go to the beach at all, but like getting sand in your shorts really sucks. Now, if you don't have a lot of money, right, you have to schlep back to your car, get in your car, drive home. The whole time you're like moving your butt around, trying to like make it like feel less itchy and bad. And then finally you get to your house, you take a shower, you got like a bunch of silt in the bottom of your shower, and you're like, oh my God, this probably isn't good for the pipes, right? Now, if you're NSO Group and you've got an A-load of money, you got money for days, do you know what that means? That means that you actually have like a concrete walkway or, maybe a boardwalk with what do they call that? Deck tracks, planks or whatever. And you walk from the beach with the sand still in your shorts. So we still have the sand in our shorts, right? But you walk up this nice plank, and right at the end of the sand, there's like a nice little outdoor shower station, and you get washed down and everything like that. Maybe there's like a privacy curtain with a change of clothes, and boom, you're right back, right? We both had the same friction. We both had sand in our shorts. But because NSO Group's got money for days, they can afford some of these niceties that reduces the friction and improves the opportunity or the timeliness to convert from doing what we were doing on the beach to being at Rita's, drinking a margarita and eating a fish taco. We'll still show up. We'll just be an hour and a half late because we had to drive all the way home, get showered, and drive all the way back to Rita's, right? NSO Group's, or the real NSO Group's, 2 martinis in, talking about how great the beach was that day. Hopefully you guys pick up what I'm putting down. I do enjoy using metaphors to make my points. I'll just let you know, Cambridge Analytica is another example. Just really quickly, I won't go into all of what Cambridge Analytica was and did, but you can learn more about them with the Great Hack documentary on Netflix. But dude, they shut everything down in a hot minute. When you have millions and millions of dollars and your product is like very easy to transfer to a new business, you would just do it. Dude, no reason to fight it.
SonicWall warns of VPN exploitation in the wild. The cybersecurity company SonicWall is warning users of its secure mobile access appliances that these are now being actively exploited in attacks. This is in reference to 2 vulnerabilities with separate CVE numbers whose advisories have been updated to reflect the exploitation situation. The vulnerabilities impact a range of SMA brands listed in the show notes to this episode, which have been patched in a recent firmware version update.
I love how SonicWall is so Swiss cheesy that it's just like more flaws exploited, like not even specifics. All right, so check it out. If you're running SonicWall, which I would say you would see in small mid-sized businesses, you got to patch it, right? You got to patch it. Okay. Now, specifically secure mobile access appliances. So I assume this is some type of like Citrix gateway or VPN gateway for mobile devices. I guess that this is an interesting approach to mobile device management where your cell phones are a little bit more high risk, so they have to go through a separate door, right? It's like at RSA, if you had a backpack, you had to go through one more screening area. If you had no backpack, you kind of take the express route. I'm assuming that's what that is. Let's look at these CVEs. As always, I enjoy going to epsslookup.com. This is a tool built for free by Eric Taylor and Barricade Cyber Solutions. So the first one is pretty gnarly. If you do get hit, 72% of vulnerabilities are not as bad as this one inside the database, but you have a 0.8% of a chance of getting exploited in the next 30 days, which is pretty low. So I wouldn't freak out and leave the stream right now. The other one is CVA. Let's check it out. This one, you have a 50% chance basically of getting hit, and this one has a 98% nastiness rating. This one's really bad. Okay, this one is one that you should absolutely look at. This allows the improper escaping of Apache HTTP server 2459 and earlier. So here's the deal. Basically, if you're running if you're running SonicWall, not obviously, but a lot of these appliances have some type of web administration interface or web app interface to make it easy so you don't have to SSH into the box. The Apache web server that it's running is vulnerable and quite frankly pretty nasty here. So basically a flip of the coin on whether or not you get popped in the next 30 days if you're running this version of SonicWall. So I care about the 384751 one. Here we go. Successful exploitation can allow unauthenticated remote code execution. This is why it's so bad. If you see, I've said this before, but it'll never change. If you see unauthenticated remote code execution, those two things combined together are nasty business on an internet-facing systems. The fact that this is actually a security appliance on top of it being an internet-facing asset makes it even more gross. So, yo, for real, either hey, what's up, DJ BSEC? What I would say, honestly, is if you're running SonicWall or you're an MSP and you've got SonicWall in your client environments, like, let's be real, I'm looking at you. This is you gotta patch it. And guess what? I'm sorry it's Friday. I was super pumped it was Friday when we started the show because everybody's getting ready for the weekend. But you, my friend, actually have some work to do. I would consider this... I wouldn't call this like the sky is falling, but you should definitely get this fixed like sooner than later. Unless you're like, you've got weekend plans on a boat and you're like, it'll be fine. If you're thinking it'll be fine, I'm just letting you know, flip a coin and you've that's say heads. And if it comes up heads or tails, that's the equivalent of like your likelihood of getting popped this weekend. So honestly, I would patch it. Here we go. If you want more information on this, SonicWall has got this Dude, what a trash. Okay. I was like, what a trash update. There's no data here, but apparently it was pulling from some type of database or like a JSON and parsing it to the screen. Yeah. Here's all this crap. It's the SMA line of products, SMA 200, 210, 400, 410, 500V. So specifically these appliances, if you're running these appliances. And if you don't know if you're running these appliances, then message your networking guy or your security guy or your IT woman. Like, you've got to find out if you're running these things, okay? The details are here. You can go find them. I'm sure there's some way to do a little bit of threat hunting to see if this has been exploited. If you're a detection engineer like Wade Wells and you want to flex a little bit, you could put a detection in place to see if this SonicWall thing is doing got nastiness going on. Remember, guys, these networking devices, a lot of times, they're running a very stripped down version of Linux. Now, some of the bigger ones like Cisco have their own iOS, or Juniper, I believe, has a Junos. But, you know, these smaller ones, like, I don't know, like, I guess SonicWall, a lot of times they run stripped down versions of Linux with like limited binaries and stuff like that. So it can be problematic. Just, you got to patch it.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker is a global leader in zero-trust endpoint security, offering cybersecurity controls to protect businesses from zero-day attacks and ransomware. ThreatLocker operates with a default deny approach to reduce the attack surface and mitigate potential cyber vulnerabilities. To learn more and to start your free trial, visit threatlocker.com/CISO. That is ThreatLocker.com/CISO.
All right, it's that time, mid-roll. Everybody, holla. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great stream. Unless you're running SonicWall and then you're like, why did I tune into this? Why did I tune into this nightmare fuel? Guys, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for sharing your squad membership badges. Let's see what mine is right now. Here we go. Love this community. Hashtag Team SC. Let's go, 27 months. A lot of people here have been here longer than me. Oh, God. Thank you to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Antisyphon, ThreatLocker. As I mentioned at the onset of the show, guys, Blue Team Summit, submit for CFPs. I'm telling you. I promise, listen to me, I promise you, if you have never spoken at a conference and you submit a CFP to this and you get selected and you do it, I promise you will come back to me and say, hey, you know what? I really am glad I did that. Thanks for pushing me, Jerry. I'm telling you. Go ahead. I just dropped a link in chat. All right, guys. It's Friday, which means only one thing. It is the James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet Jokers of the Week. He's been doing it for years. I love James McQuiggan. If you get to see this guy at a conference, it's an absolute must-see. He is like the Arc de Triomphe or whatever in Rome or Paris. I think it's Paris. I'm so uncultured in Europe. It's like the Eiffel Tower. Like if you go to France, right, or Paris, and you don't see the Eiffel Tower, you're missing out, right? James McQuiggan he's like a landmark. You got to get some James McQuiggan when you have the opportunity. All right, here we go, yo. Oh, my God, I'm so old. Where are my glasses? Hold on. I'm slowly devolving. Who am I? All right, here we go. Back in my day. All right, here we go. Yesterday, I noticed someone dropped their Scrabble game in front of my house. Like, yesterday was trash day. People were, coming by and stuff like that, dropped off a bicycle, etc. Someone dropped a Scrabble game, and I yelled from my window, Yo, what's the word on the street? What's the word on the street? Hey, did you guys know that a couple days ago was April 30th? It was National Dried Grape Day, right? National Dried Grape Day. It's all about raising awareness, right? It's all about raising awareness. We gotta let people know. Raising awareness. And finally, what is 5Q plus 5Q the same as being grateful? Why is 5Q plus 5Q the same as being grateful? A little math this morning. Because they're both 10Q. Well, you're welcome. 10Q. Thank you. You're welcome. That's a groan. Love it, love it, love it. All right, you know what to do. Alpha Sierra, lead us off, but everybody knows the words. Let's join together and finish strong as we slide back into the second half of the show. Great job, everybody. Let's finish strong, yeah? Come on.
Microsoft Windows Server hot patching to require subscription. As quoted in Bleeping Computer, Microsoft has announced it will require paid subscriptions for Windows Server 2025 hot patching, a service that enables admins to install security updates without restarting. The company is offering an opportunity for admins to try hot patching free of charge, quote, before it becomes generally available in July, when they'll have to pay for a subscription to test it, end quote. The company also warned those currently testing Windows Server 2025 hot patching in preview to disenroll on or before June 30th, so that they are not automatically subscribed in July. The announcement explained, quote, with hot patching, we are taking what was previously an Azure-only capability and now making it available to Windows Server machines outside of Azure through Azure Arc, end quote. So,
okay. All right. So Microsoft has the ability to patch your systems. You gotta patch it. Without requiring restart, which obviously, if you have a high availability environment, that's super desirable. Honestly, I'd like to know more about this, because if this is something you can do, like, listen, I can understand if there's some dependency by Microsoft of like compute or something, or they like take a quick snapshot image of your server and then put it in place while the patching happens and the reboot happens, so you don't actually experience any downtime, then I understand why you would charge, right? It's just like cloud-based lab machines like TryHackMe and stuff. Like, it'd be great if it was a one-time fee, but in reality, there's compute cycles that you have to pay and ongoing monthly fees and stuff, so you have to pay for that, right? I could see that here. If this is just like a cash grab, for a luxury feature, then that's gross. I don't know what Microsoft is. This seems so like picking peanuts out of elephant poop for Microsoft, who is a Fortune 10 company, to get a little bit of extra scratch. Like this almost sounds like an account executive who was trying to like generate some more revenue for Q4, was like, oh, let's do this. We charge for patching. Dude, like, what are we doing here? If you are, DJ BSEC, if you want to weigh in on this, he's in chat right now. This just seems like a, I don't know, man, like an FU kind of. Hot patching's available at no charge to preview now, of course. You try it before you buy it, right? This is what drug dealers do. First one's free. Get in here. Get used to it like anyone else. Dude, this is like literally, this is why car salespeople want you to take a test drive, or hey, why don't you take it home for the weekend? So you get like basically it part of your workflow, and then you got little vendor lock-in. So the subscription's $1.50 per CPU core per month. What are we doing here? What? First of all, why is the pricing model per core? When you're patching, like, again, this has to do with how they're doing it so you don't have to patch. This definitely has to be some type of like second, like an image of your machine that you're patching has to get stood up on the side. And that's probably why they're charging by core, because the bigger your machine, the bigger compute they have to build. I bet you anything, it's like building a digital twin of your server and having it run in parallel with the machine that's getting rebooted. By the way, there's no way that they've solved for having a patch that doesn't require a reboot. Like a lot of times when you reboot, it's because certain software and certain DLLs and stuff are loaded, and the reason you reboot is because it fixes some DLL or some function or some software or whatever. And when you reboot, it goes down, and then when it comes back up and it loads it back into memory, it's loading the patch, the new one, right? If you try to hot swap it, it can lead to instability. All right. So if you're interested, go to Azure Arc and follow whatever these steps are. We'll say DJ BSEC is giving it a shot. Oh, here's some interesting news from Casually Joseph. Hot patching updates doesn't support automatic rollback. So if you experience an issue, you got to uninstall the latest update and then install the latest functional baseline update. Yeah, that sounds good. You know what you'd hear most people say?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Dude, this would be so painful. So literally, thank you, Casually Joseph. So this right here is supposed to save you time because you don't reboot. You don't have any downtime for your business or for your user community. But if it fails, you can expect a longer downtime than you would if you just patched it the old traditional way. So enjoyed getting, basically punched in the, package. At least by some people. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, if you want, this is more for the your IT counterparts. If you run a Microsoft shop, which many of us do, M365 Azure environment, if you have a hybrid cloud. Yeah, exactly. DJ BSEC is pointing out in chat, you can just use basically the best practice for vulnerability management is like kind of a ring approach where you basically patch like a demo or a test system, make sure it doesn't break anything. That way you don't have to do this like awkward, janky rollback process. And then you start expanding it. When it comes to servers, it's a little bit different because you don't, like Jan in accounting isn't running a server. So hopefully, depending on the size of your organization and how much money you have, you may not have a backup test server for the finance department or for the SAP application or something like that. So your mileage may vary. A lot of people might just go YOLO, but okay, yeah. Casually Joseph says, like, you're lucky if the business even patches in the first place. So whatever. Here we go.
Wizards Group uses Slack spoofing to perform adversary-in-the-middle attacks. The security firm ESET has come out with a new blog post describing the activities of a Chinese APT group that they have named TheWizards, who are deploying Spellbinder, a lateral movement tool for performing adversary-in-the-middle attacks. According to the post, Spellbinder, quote, enables adversary-in-the-middle attacks through IPv6 stateless address auto-configuration spoofing, that is SLAAC, to move laterally in the compromised network, intercepting packets and redirecting the traffic of legitimate Chinese software so that it downloads malicious updates from a server controlled by the attackers. Currently, the group TheWizards, written as one word, targets individuals, gambling companies, and unknown entities in the Philippines, Cambodia, the United Arab Emirates, mainland China, and Hong Kong. Pinterest.
All right. So, first of all, why does threat actor criminal groups get cool names? Okay, why can't we have defenders? Like Unit 42 is cool, Watchtower is cool. Like we do have cool names, but like, can't we like, I don't know, can't we give these APTs like crappy names? Like the Dookies APT group and like, Stink Lines APT group, like, kind of like admonish them instead of like elevate them. This is cool. And then they get to get their software, their malware gets cool names like Spellbinder. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a geek and I like that fantasy fiction world. But like, dude, if oh man, did you see this like level 60 rogue backdoor? It's like, no, but I'm interested. Let's go. All right, so let's actually talk about what's going on here. Threat Actor Group has a piece of software that gets downloaded by a legitimate piece of software. It's Chinese-based Threat Actor Group. It's a Chinese legitimate software that's pulling it down. Again, not a political show, but if a legitimate piece of software is downloading malware, one of two things has happened. Either A, we have like a SolarWinds incident where the software has been compromised and threat actors are wearing it like a pair of trousers to pull down malware. We also saw this, like if you're looking for examples where this has happened, there's plenty. Famously, NotPetya used the MyDoc accounting software out of Ukraine to push wiper malware, the NotPetya one. And Russia did SolarWinds to use the SolarWinds updater to push into all of the Orion instances. So it's not unprecedented to basically take advantage of the trust that these legitimate softwares have. It's also quite possible, only because it's China, that the Chinese government has leaned into this particular legitimate software company and said, hey, do us a favor, or you're not going to be happy. So then they do the favor. We don't know if this Wizards APT group is state sponsored or not. All right, so let's look at actually what they're doing. Adversarial in the middle is, 2025's man in the middle, a little bit more PC, but man in the middle, adversary in the middle. All that is when I, go to Amazon.com to buy pint glasses, my traffic goes from my computer to that computer. Adversary in the middle is somebody like exactly what it sounds like, sniffing the traffic. Now, when you're in the middle, you do have the opportunity to eavesdrop. You have the opportunity to manipulate and impact integrity. Obviously, this is why encrypting traffic is good. Now, it's using IPv6 stateless address auto-configuration spoofing. Don't even get me started. Dude, I have spent very little time in my career trying to understand IPv6. To me, it's like looking at a level 17 blacksmith puzzle. I'm sure it's interesting. Most people stuck with IPv4 once they released the RFC 1918, which was like the private IP addressing, right? Your 192.168s or your 10.0s. So I don't know. Like maybe it's just me. Like let me know in chat. Did you ever learn IPv6 proper? Hold on, I'm gonna do a poll. Maybe I want to see if I'm like the weirdo here. Did you ever learn IPv6? I'm kind of curious, just from a community perspective. And if you have like specific thoughts, chime in on them. But all right, now again, for me and you, probably not a big deal. I feel like there's we have an international diverse audience, but for the most part, this is China attacking China. It looks like Singapore, Triple D, Divine Dream Divine. You might see some of this in your space. What country is this just south of Thailand? Is that Cambodia? World map. Thailand. Let me see really quickly. What country is that? Yeah, it's Cambodia. Good thing we do Worldwide Wednesday. So Cambodia is getting hit. And United Arab Emirates. You'll notice that like North America, South America isn't even on this map. So like for you and I, it's more interesting to understand what they're doing, but less likely for us to, experience an exploit. Hold on one second. Oh, this is wild, dude. So what it says adversarial in the middle attack, but what they're actually doing is they're installing, it is in the middle, but like it's, hold on, this is kind of funny. It's not in the middle like this is the client, this is the server, and they live here. It's like this is the client, this is the whatever, internet, and they're actually installed right here. So it's basically like running Wireshark on your own machine and capturing that data. That's basically what they're doing. Now, to what end, I don't know. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this infographic's nice, but like at the same time, there's IPv6 up in this piece. They have the kill, like the whole workflow and the kill chain right here. I guess my question is, like, to what end? So yeah, you're sniffing traffic. This is a Wireshark screenshot. I'm trying to figure out like what is the actual end goal here. Oh, all right. So two things here. Number one, there's hard-coded IP or domain names in this code. So technically, when you have hard-coded domain names in software, you can, put these in your firewall. You can put this in your detection and, your detections to see if endpoints are going to try to access these particular domains since they are hard-coded, which is great. This is a pretty technical write-up. I like this. But my point, like, it's like cool malware, bro. But you should always be asking yourself, like, what's the point? Like, okay, so they get on you. I don't know what the point is here, honestly. I mean, if the point here, okay, so nice. Like, here's the IOCs. You can go threat hunting in your environment for this one. Obviously, these things can be changed, but it's still pretty nice. Oh, they do a little MITRE attack. Nice, dude. I like ESET. So the only thing I would ask here from a GRC perspective is, like, what's the point, right? So is this just like a spray and pray and infect as many people as possible, or is this targeted? It doesn't feel like it's targeted. So then if I, like, listen, if I send out this super sophisticated spellbinder backdoor and I infect 1,000 people, right? What am I doing? This doesn't seem like a financial criminal attack vector. It does seem more nation state sponsored. So to what end? You know what I mean? So I don't know if this is just like a land grab and try to infect as many people as possible, but
To start labeling Gen AI manipulated images.
Oh, hold on. Let's look at IPv6. So the community is split. 124 people voted. 50-50 learned IPv6. I like it. TG Artists, do we think anyone's still running IPv4? I would think so, for sure.
Pinterest is introducing new tools to help users identify and reduce exposure to AI-generated content. The platform will now label images created or altered with generative AI using a stamp that says AI modified, which is visible during close-up viewing. These labels are based on metadata analysis and newly developed AI classifiers that detect such content even without embedded markers. Users can also choose to see fewer AI-generated images when browsing. Matt Madrigal, Chief Technology Officer at Pinterest, stated, quote, Gen AI content on Pinterest should enhance users' ability to discover and act on their inspiration, end quote. The global rollout includes an appeal process for users who believe their content was incorrectly flagged as AI-generated. Russia linked...
all right. I mean, this is a standard practice for social media platforms, and I appreciate it. On YouTube, if you make content that has AI-generated content in it, there's a flag now that you have to, self-select, obviously. They do have these engines that can check. I haven't been on Pinterest in a minute, okay? I will tell you, just as like a fun little did you know, when I was exploring, where is it? When I was exploring, like helping people, reaching people on social media, I did actually try Pinterest at one point just because the audience typically in tech and cyber YouTube and communities is heavily skewed towards males, and I'm not for that. Like I want everybody to be inclusive and everything like that. And in fact, I'm actually quite proud of the distribution of male to female ratio of the Simply Cyber community as compared to other cybersecurity YouTube content creators and stuff like that. It's actually quite high, which I'm proud of. But I tried to do stuff on Pinterest simply because I feel there's a larger female population over on Pinterest, and I was trying to go to where they are. It didn't work out very well as far as me and Pinterest. So anyways, there's nothing for you to do here. Just be aware, deepfakes are becoming way easier. If you're interested in learning more about deepfakes, I would seriously is it not pronounced Pinterest? Pinterest? Go check out Perry Carpenter. Perry Carpenter is a really great guy, really nice guy. He's been on the show before. He's a friend, and he is doing amazing things with AI and deepfakes. I'm trying to find... this is all him. I was looking for his actual YouTube page. He's the author of the book Fake, F-A-I-K. You'll see him on LinkedIn. He's got he does a lot of he looks like Taylor Swift type stuff. He's a cool dude. So if you're interested in this space around AI and the use of deepfakes and stuff, definitely get into that. As far as me and you, though, there's not much here. Pinterest. Pinterest. Right here it says Pinterest. Did they spell it wrong? Hold on. Pinterest. There we go. No. How do I, oh my God. Is this me? This is Australian Pinterest. This isn't even me. Someone created this? What is this? Hold on one second. Oh, by the way, if you search Gerald Auger, there's a Canadian, a Canadian actor. This guy right here. I've been fighting this guy for years to take over the top spot on Google search. Yeah, look it. This is the Pinterest. I tried to deliver value directly to a more female-based audience, but I didn't get a lot of traction with it. So I guess either my pins suck or whatever. It does say Pinterest, not Pinterest. Pinterest. All right.
Nebulous Mantis targets NATO-related defense organizations. Operating with geopolitical motives...
Hold on, library? Library? What's wrong with library?
Group has been active since 2019, using a range of Trojans, spear phishing, and living off the land tactics to target critical infrastructure, governments, and NATO-linked entities, all the while changing the domains they operate from every month. A new report from PRODAFT, P-R-O-D-A-F-T, outlines the group's techniques, and in particular its espionage activities hidden behind ransomware operations, attacking organizations in North America, Europe, and Japan. A link to this report is available in the show notes to this episode.
Okay. So check it out. We're at time, so I'm not going to spend a hot minute on this one, but what I will say is I'll leave this as an exercise to you, and I'm going to straight up like low-key eggplant emoji on this. Listen to this. Look at this. This is awesome. Dude, this is like the equivalent of an infographic. Hold on. Look at this. I've never heard of this group Catalyst before, but if you would allow me a moment, look at what they do. And they got this summary that pops up nice, the executive summary, a little bit of detail. Let's go ahead and hide that. And actually, let's look at what they've done here. They have a full briefing. This is like a threat intelligence report. They've got it for strategic overview, so for GRC nerds. They've got the tactical details for the detection engineers. They got the operation intelligence, also, I guess, for the detection engineers. But look at how they've broken the table of contents down. Initial access, execution, persistence, evasion, discovery, lateral movement. Oh my God, is this directly mapped to MITRE ATT&CK framework as well as essentially the cyber kill chain? Why, Jerry? Yes. Yes, it is. This right here, hold on. Bro, are you kidding me? Like the logical flow, the deployment of this, the dark mode of the blog post, the direct delivery of information without a bunch of fluff and crap. Yes, give me some. Look at this. Dude, I'm going to read this right afterwards, and then I'm going to spew it out on social medias. Catalyst, you have my attention, right? Give me a coconut with a little umbrella drink in it. I'm all in on this guy. Holy crap. Does anyone know Catalyst? This is new to me. Look at this. Even this right here is a screenshot of a OneDrive fake landing page with a malicious PDF. Even this looks hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Yes, sir. All right. So anyways, long story short, there's a new threat actor in town, and it looks like they're basically spear phishing with an email to a landing page that downloads malware. Like, welcome to the party, pal. I mean, obviously, it's friggin' working. I'm trying to... All right, so it's a Russian-based threat actor targeting NATO-related organizations. So if you support any NATO-related organizations, government leaders, political leaders, anything with the Russian-Ukrainian conflict on the Ukrainian side, you could be get targeted by this. This attack technique, while the blog post does look super cool and I really appreciate how they laid it out, this is like a pretty standard attack. Like if you are actively involved in the Russian-Ukrainian conflict as a player in the game and you're not have heightened security awareness, what is wrong with you? You have been let down by the GRC mafia. Like you should, like they've been at war for like 3 years. Like you should not be surprised that you're being targeted. All right, let's go. Let's go. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, there we go. All right, y'all. Don't go anywhere because we got Jawjacking coming up in just a second, and it's Friday, which means it is panel Jawjacking. I already see a couple regulars in there. Fleetus, DJ BSEC. We might get a couple other folks, depending on what's available. But Jawjacking is a 30-minute AMA Ask Us Anything where we will help you with your cyber career or just in general, like just Jawjacking, kicking it. Reminder that at, I'm looking at the Discord right now. Reminder at 1 o'clock today, we are doing a live, we're doing a live AMA in Discord. So if you are a little bit shy or you want to be a little bit more real time or whatever, come to the Discord server. 1 hour AMA. We will hook you up, friend. And then, of course, at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we will be doing the State of Simply Cyber, which is basically a quarterly accountability meeting. No one's required to be there. I am required to be there because I essentially serve this community, and I find it incredibly important for transparency to do these quarterly meetings and let you know where we're going, what we've been doing, and get feedback from all of you. I also want to just tease out that we had a massive move forward on Simply CyberCon yesterday. I went to the venue, and everything's locked in. So now we're about to move to the next phase. So stay tuned for that. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. As always, don't go anywhere because I got... Oh, shit. I just closed Discord. I got you covered, okay? Oh, my gosh. Where are we? Hold on. All right, guys. Be well. We'll see you in a hot minute. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. Holler at me. Does my screen look like it's like getting jiggly? Do you see that? Is that just me? Huh. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. This is Jawjacking. It's a 30-minute AMA where you can basically get answers from industry experts. We got a great panel for you today. I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. First person here is going to be our very own Fleetus Poston the Third. This guy right here, bringing the heat. Hey, Fleetus, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Also coming in hot from San Diego. He's probably wearing jelly sandals, ladies and gentlemen. Wade Wells.
I don't even know what jelly sandals are. Like,
Good morning. We may have one or two more panelists join us here in the show. As always, I'd love for you to drop your questions in chat. If you put a Q in front of it, that would be best so we know it's for you. Now, I do want to say really quickly, as a personal note, Fleetus did experience a career-altering event this week. He has agreed to talk about it, and I feel like it's real talk that people should hear because it's uncomfortable and it's a real thing. So, Fleetus, why don't you take the floor, share as little or as much as you want, and people listen up because, you know, this is an opportunity to learn without having to experience it yourself. Go ahead, Fleetus.
Sure. So recently was let go from my role due to a reduction in force. This means that the company decided to eliminate some O&M, so operation and maintenance cost of the company, and my role was one of those. So this was a company-wide organizational change. So my role was eliminated as of yesterday. So I am now in transition. Many of you have kindly reached out to me, so I appreciate that. I'm still in this community. I'll be part of this community no matter what. So I look forward to sharing this experience with you as I go through the transitional period of finding new work, as well as continuing to serve this community. So I'll be transparent. Feel free to let me know if you have questions and comments. And as always, even though I'm out of work, I'm still here to help. Please let me know how I can help you as you're continuing to break into this field or transition as well.
Thanks, Fleetus. Now, Fleetus, can I just ask you a question? When your position was eliminated, like, did you get 2 weeks severance? Like, you don't have to get into the details, but were you just told, like, your job doesn't exist, you can leave now? Or was there some type of, you know what I mean?
So because I was the leader in the organization, I was told a day earlier. So my CISO and my HR team pulled me into a call the day before to let me know that tomorrow we will be announcing the reduction in force. So I was told on Tuesday that my last day would be Thursday. Due to due practice, good practice, I was my rights were removed a day later. So I had 1 day to do knowledge transfer, wrap up my affairs, and then given the ability to go on. So I was told the night before. The organization was told the following morning. So I had a little bit of extra time to get my affairs in order that night. Because of the individual I am, I still worked on my stuff that night as well as the following morning to make sure that the organization would be in a good position when I was let go. I read in my CISO on all the work I was doing. For transparency, I was like a 60-40 split. 60% of my job was leadership, 40% was individual contributor. So there's a lot of work I had to get wrapped up and handed off or in a place that could be transitioned. So I documented all of that night and the following morning, as well as I owned key resources in the organization. So for those out there, please document who owns what. So when you do go through a layoff, a firing, someone takes a new job, you know what you need to transition so that you don't break production systems. So wishing them best as they continue to find places that I may still own things. But at the end of the day, it was a good experience as I shared in LinkedIn. I'm glad for what I was able to accomplish there for the team I worked with. And I'm thankful for all the members who reached out to me as well. But to your point, yes, I was given some severance and some lead time and a little bit of health coverage.
All right. Thank you, Fleetus. And everybody's, very supportive, right? We are a community. A lot of people supportive in chat. I want to call your attention to this really quickly because, there's a lot of you can hear things and say things, but when the rubber hits the road, it becomes real. I've said this many, many times, okay? Yes, you can love your coworkers and you can love the mission of your business, but this can happen. You can be Fleetus, who's doing all the right things and killing it. And dude, if the business can't support labor, labor is literally one of the most expensive things on the balance sheet, and it's one of the easiest things to basically, excise off because it's just like gone. So always be thinking of you as the CEO of you, right? Like it's like, and again, like if you tried to quit and you gave a 24-hour notice, the business would probably be like, that's not very professional. You should have given us 2 weeks. But the business will turn around in a hot minute and friggin' give you the Heisman and tell you, like, Fleetus got at least a 24-hour notice. Other people went in for work that day and found out that day. So always be, I shouldn't say always be trying to find a job, but be doing the things, building the portfolio, contributing, doing all the things, because you don't know in a hot minute when you're going to need, the support of your network. And also, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. And we don't have to get into this, Fleetus, but like Fleetus may not want to take a job right now. He might be like, dude, I'm gonna kick it for a couple months and just straight enjoy life. But I bet you anything, because of what Fleetus has done and the person he is and the relationships he's built, I would suspect Fleetus would find gainful employment when he wants to pretty quickly, even in this economy, because of all the things he's done leading up to now, right? Nothing, again, final thing, and then we'll get into questions. Nothing's worse than like not reaching out and not being active until you need something, right? If you guys have a single neighbor or a single friend who the only time you see them is when they need to borrow a shovel, or if they can get your Netflix password or something like that, that's not good. Like you don't like necessarily want to help them because like they're just a taker, right? But if they're constantly like getting your mail while you're on vacation, or hey, calling you because there's a weird car parked out front, right? Well, then when they need some help, like borrowing your lawnmower, you're like, sure, dude, I'd love to. So always be thinking of that, okay? All right, that's all. I'm so passionate about that, but
hey, I'm right there with you, right? Like never think your company, your organization is your family type of deal, right? They will sell you up the boat, sell you quickly as possible. Always be looking, always be hustling. Yeah, I hate to say stuff like that, but like it's so true.
It is true. I mean, dude, it's self-preservation, right? I mean, for many of us, like, for me personally, right? I am financially responsible for my family and for my family's well-being, my kids, my wife, a home, clothes, food, right? Like I've got to be worried about that, right? So, and many of us here also have that kind of shared responsibility. A lot of people have experienced this. Daniel Lowry's chiming in, DP's chiming in, so many folks. So, all right, so let's get our questions going. Wade Wells, what's new? What's cooking, baby?
I guess I didn't tell people about this, and I didn't really. I'll be at HackSpaceCon. I think I mentioned it here. In 2 weeks, I'm also going to be doing kind of a talk that I'm working on for Datadog about detection engineering. That's going to be like just a quick one. Otherwise, I got like nothing. I realized I'm kind of doing slim pickings, at least for external community that's not San Diego this year. So
that's okay. Ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Did you, I don't know, this feels like right up both of your, all y'all's wheelhouses. Did you guys see that Blue Team Summit CFP is open?
I am teaching at the Blue Team Summit. That's something else I should probably announce. So I was trying to make my class a 2-day course from popular demand because I have too much in it. But I was unable to actually do it just because new jobs and other stuff like that. Yeah, the famous picture of me without a mustache.
I like it.
I've got many
AI
comments.
could generate that.
I know. Many comments on it. So I am teaching. I am going to pass a couple passes for free enrollment for this class to the Simply Cyber community once we get going and stuff like that. So be prepared.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So Wade Wells, you can get some training, but definitely don't sleep on submitting a talk. Again, Blue Team Summit. Kathy Chambers explained to me specifically that they are making space for new speakers, right? And when we talk about kind of delivering value and getting engaged with the community, right, the things that Fleetus is doing, for example, speaking at conferences is definitely one of those opportunities. And if you're nervous about it, may I suggest just submit the CFP, right? Even if you get accepted, you can still decline and say, oh, it's not going to work out, right? But submit the CFP, see what happens, right? And there you go.
How long are the talks? Did you look?
I did not look, but I want to say that they're not that long. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not sharing my screen. I'll look at my private email. 25-minute talks, right? Talks are short. So
that's quick.
Yeah. So Kathy's calling it out, but for those who are aware, I am doing an Antisyphon cast on the 21st. So feel free to join me there for that one.
On what?
So,
on what?
The human-centric side of AI.
there you go. So if we have a link to that, mods, is it up?
It's
the
up.
landing page up?
Yeah, you can register.
Okay, so yeah, someone can pull that in mod chat for Fleetus's it's an anti-cast, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I just did an anti-cast this week, I think. Yeah, this week I did one, which was pretty cool. If you're interested in GRC, right? I know, Wade, you've been secretly admiring GRC from a distance. You can get in here, buddy. You don't have to be shy.
It's true. I'm kind of getting. I need something new every now and then, right? But
yeah, you wanna slum it with the GRC people. On the tracks? Okay, so drop your questions in chat. Hey, so this term vibe coding. What do you guys? How does this, like, when I say vibe coding, Fleetus? What's the initial emotion that you feel?
So I actually think of more rage coding because I was dealing with some former folks who were just mad at the world. So instead of talking to anyone, they just go code. So vibe coding in my mind is the same thing. You're putting on some upbeat, probably non-lyrical music, and you're just hammering away at the keyboard.
Okay, there you go. Wade, do you have a position on vibe coding?
yeah, I throw on the Simply Cyber like low beats, like and chill stream,
Okay.
and then just speak to the AI. I actually have an add-on that records my voice, so I don't even type when I talk to AI. I just talk and then watch it as it goes and just chill back and relax. It's cool. I haven't used it a lot, but it's interesting.
What
it's not me.
What add-on are you using? You want to share that?
I'm the one I'm using in my browser. One on computer is just like a voice recorder. The one on my Chrome browser is one that was actually suggested by Jason Haddix.
Ooh.
Let me see. It's called Voice In.
Okay. And just so the chat knows, if you don't know who Jason Haddix is, you should Google it. Haddix. The guy is borderline inhuman. The amount of stuff he does, it's crazy. Like, if you think like I'm busy, like Jason Haddix is like hold my beer. The guy is really amazing. He's known for his bug bounty stuff, but he's like a VC. So he actually has a red, blue, purple course that's like insane about how to like not weaponize, like how to like use AI for like its maximum value.
I need to retake it. So I took it in one of the first cohorts for it, and after you take it once, I believe that one time they told us like, hey, you guys get a deal to take it again since this is like the first time. Yeah. And I really want to take it again to see how it's matured. I've actively used what he's taught so much. So if anyone knows about my ADS chatbot, which it creates detection descriptions and like full-on plans if a detection fires, like what to do, that all came from his class, that idea. So
awesome. All right, we've got questions lined up. I do want to share really quickly. This is Fleetus's court talk that is happening May 21st. I'm going to drop this link in chat right now, so you can scoop that up if you want. I'll actually go ahead and pin it on top of that. All right, so let's get some questions cooking here. Where are the questions? They are here. In the Anticast, what was your favorite question? Oh, that's from me. Honestly, Roswell UK, I'm almost like a goldfish. Like, I've got so much going on that I just kind of like don't lie, and I do the best I can in every instance and just keep cooking forward. So I'd have to go back and look. I don't even remember the questions, honestly. Fleetus question, what skills are you going to work on now that you have some more time available? Good question.
That's a tricky question. The one that I'm doing the most is actually reprogramming myself. I've learned already that it's been 20 years since I've not had a job to go to. So when I set that in, it's been 20 years that I've been working straight with only just having a weekend in between jobs. So being able to personally just disconnect. So right now, as you all know, you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? You grab your phone. Well, I would go through my personal apps and my professional apps. Well, I don't have those professional apps to go through right now. So it's reprogramming my mind that I don't need to do that. from a technical point of view, I'm planning to dive into more AI centric security, get more adjacent to it, just so that when I get back into the field, I'm also learning some new tools. Just because some of the job descriptions I've looked at, there's tool stacks that I'm not familiar with, so I'll go through those and just get comfortable with what they do, how they work. So if I do need to be on keyboard, I can do that, and if I'm leading the team, I understand the functionality of those tools. So I'm evaluating both sides of the house, and may go back to some IC work, or I may stay in leadership, so I'm doing a little bit of both. But the first one is just reprogramming my mind that I don't have a job, that everything I have right now is for my family, and personally it's what I need to do. So even though, to be frank with you, the laptop from my previous company is sitting beside me. It's a paperweight right now because I can't wipe it and keep it until later today. So once it's wiped, I can reprogram it and make it my own.
There you
You're
go.
keeping the laptop. Did they give you the laptop, or are you?
It's taxable, but yes, they're giving it to me. I'll be taxed on the tax value of it. So I got to keep it.
That's not bad. That's kind of cool though.
I can do that.
There you go. All right, Fleetus, thank you for sharing. Hey, all right, so the next question is from Nikos. Hey, Jerry, could you please share the Catalyst website you presented earlier? When does your June 2025 4-day cohort open for registration? Sure, yeah. So, well, hold on. That's my private email. What is the Did you guys see? Were you guys following the stream? I think you were in the green room when this last story came up. This Catalyst blog post. Have you heard of Catalyst?
I had not.
Neither have I. But I just, dude, like, it's probably the overall packaging of this, but I do like that they've kind of like mapped the entire blog post out per MITRE, and then they actually have it for different audiences, right? So like, this is me, this is, Wade, this is Fleetus, right? Like, obviously it's behind a paywall, but I don't know. I just like it. So I'm going to drop this link in chat for Nikos. And then the 4-day class that he's talking about, I actually think Fleetus and Wade have both attended it. I might be wrong, but let me know, guys. I think you did. This is actually going to open today. Okay. Wade, did you take this, or Fleetus, did you take this?
No, I remember you talking about it a lot and when it was going on.
Okay.
I think I've heard enough about it to have taken it.
Yeah. So just so everyone knows, this is a live class that I do 3 times a year, and it's actually kind of perfect for right now. It's cyber adjacent, but basically it's like how to build a personal brand, how to build an online portfolio, how to deliver value into a network. It's basically like if you wanted to build Simply Cyber, but it's an opportunity to stand out in a sea of sameness while being excited and passionate about the content you're making. And we go through all of this for 4 days, 4 hours a day. I will communicate this out later today. I've just been so busy. I went to RSA this week, and I just haven't had time to turn this thing on yet. But yep, that'll be what's happening. And then, Wade, Fleetus, if you want to attend, I'd be happy to extend a complimentary access. Especially Fleetus, if you got some time, you know what I mean? We get you in here.
I don't know about time. I haven't looked at my schedule. It might be a little packed. Might not have any time for that.
Fleetus, if you could have done something differently, still not knowing this was coming, what would you have done with you, brother?
To be honest, I think the only thing I would have done in my current role differently is I think I would have led better and documented more. I realized how much documentation that I had started and never finished when I got the notice. Because we talk about it here all the time. It's not what you know, it's can you repeat it? Can you do it again? And can you repeat it in the same manner? That's why we do infrastructure as code, so that we don't have config drift. The same thing goes for playbooks and your SOPs. So I would like to work on documentation. That is not a strength of mine. I'm very good at shorthand, and I have a lot of notes that make sense to me. So my notes were great. So when I threw them at my CISO and said, hey, go have fun with this, they're not going to make sense to him. So that's one thing I want to do in my next role is before I start and while I'm doing it, document better versus trying to say, I'll go back and do that tomorrow.
All right, there you go. I have a question for the panel. Now, very specific, okay? So remember, Wade and Fleetus are very blue, right? Security operations. Wade worked in a SOC, getting those alert metrics done, and now he does detection engineering. Fleetus has worked in a SOC and managed a SOC. I was at okay, so this is a question for you guys, okay? In a larger conversation, because Daniel Lowry asked us about vibe coding earlier in the chat. So I was at RSA this week, and I interviewed some folks from Cisco, and I interviewed a guy named AJ Shipley. And you can go, there's a short that's actually performing quite well on my channel of this conversation. But essentially, Cisco has released a product that uses agentic AI to essentially do tier 1 triage and do it kind of effectively. And one of the interesting things that they're doing is they're actually using they're taking it to the next step of using nouns and verbs to explain what happened. So it's like, this, Wade's account logged into, machine 8453 at this time and did whatever, right? So like it makes it more readable for anyone. And part of the thing when I asked him was like, is this going to replace SOC? What are we doing here? And he's like, no. Like, if anything, this actually lowers the barrier to entry because you don't have to have as much experience and you don't have to make as many mistakes because the AI is going to help you move faster and be more, optimal in what you're doing. So there's this like push and pull between, is it replacing versus it assisting? So having that set up, and the same for vibe coding. Daniel Lowry just asked, is this going to make junior software engineers suck at their job because they're not going to understand like how to do math? They just know how to use a calculator. Wade, initial thoughts, please?
I think this is like a glass is half empty or half full question, right? You could definitely take it either way. I originally saw AI coming onto the scene, much like what he's saying is, it's going to be a lot easier for junior analysts if they can use these tools to empower themselves to be a lot better. Will AI be taking jobs? Absolutely. But on the plus side, those AIs may also be, you may also be able to have people who normally wouldn't have jobs and have a job. So it could go either way, but I would say it depends on the economy, which isn't looking out too great. But it could go either way. I haven't seen one of these work completely yet. I would be interested to dive into one and like actually experience it. But I have seen like some of the big, not MSPs, the bigger SIEMs start using it. And I was impressed with that. A little too impressed, to tell the truth.
Fleetus, you got some thoughts on this?
Yeah, like we talked about, and I've shared probably numerous times, and I'll share, this kind of leads into my talk on the 21st. We as humans still have to know what it's spitting out. I tell people all the time, never ask AI anything you don't already know the answer to. You don't have to be an expert in it, but you should know if it's sending you crap. And you need to know how to fix the crap. Just like it's okay to let it help you with coding. I think we talked on last Friday. It's okay to say that I enhanced my code with generative AI, not generative AI wrote my code. So I think that piece, and yes, we've had ML, machine learning, helping us for a while now. And ML has been in a lot of our tools. So we're going to continue to see that grow. So I agree with Wade. It's helped some college students get comfortable coding that they would have never coded, so they feel comfortable doing IT roles. It's helped high school students feel comfortable researching topics. So I think the next generation is going to be more comfortable with it. They're going to understand that it's a tool in their toolbox, where we're scared that it's the toolbox. It's not the toolbox. It's a tool in the toolbox. And AI is only going to replace people not using it.
I think Sean Spratt said something pretty good. It's they need to want to learn, right? Mm-hmm. I think it'll definitely create that divide even more of the people who are passionate about working the job, who are diving deeper into actual like alerts and stuff like that, to the people who are just letting AI completely take over, which is in the SOC, when you usually have two people, the people who are trying to get out of the SOC and the people who are just like, I'm fine here pressing the button. So that'll create that divide even more.
All right. These are some great insights and hot takes. I just want to show everybody. So these are the shorts that I'm putting on the channel. By the way, this guy, Nick Bacchio, I'm going to try to get him on Simply Cyber Firesides. This guy is cool. He's a goon at DEF CON for 10 years. Like spicy hot takes. Like Wade, like he almost seems like San Diego in human form. I don't know.
I watched that short. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was flipping through stuff last night and it came on. I'm like, oh, all right, this is pretty good.
Yeah. So he's good people. But this one right here, Bye Bye Burnout, AI for Differ is here. This is the one that I'm talking about. I dropped a link in chat. So if you're interested in getting the background on what I'm talking about, that's the short to check out. All right. Keeping going here. Dino wants mentorship and apprenticeship. How can he get help with this? How can he get mentorship? Fleetus, I'm going to throw this to you since this is, you have the exact answer.
So you got to want it, you got to ask, and you got to be willing to listen. So the easiest way to get a mentor is just to go ask questions, and someone somewhere will answer that question. Remember when you're asking questions that you're doing it with grace and humility. Don't demand, to Jerry's example area, don't be the neighbor who's just coming to the well to take and never bring anything back. So nourish that relationship. And it starts with just being inquisitive. Every time someone approaches me for one-on-one mentorship or the mass mentorship I do through this and my channel, it's because they've taken the time to at least learn about who I am, what my passions are, what my expertise are, and they ask targeted questions to help them grow and become more. Again, I never want to make a clone of me. That's not my goal in mentorship, is to clone Fleetus. My goal is to give you knowledge cheaply as possible and freely give it to you in a way that will help the next generation be better than what I was. So I always like to say, if I knew this when I was your age, this is what I would do. Or this is what I would have asked. This is what I would have wanted. And that's how I mentor, is helping them think forward. If you haven't seen this yet, so Heather, now Bernhardt, the digital forensics, actually posted something very similar. She said, I sat down and had coffee with my 20-year-old self today. And she talked about how she overcame her shyness to become to a public speaker the other day, because she was part of the panel at RSA for SANS talking about the thing. So I always tell people, reflect back to your 18-year-old self or 20-year-old self and say, I can do this, and see what your journey looks like, because you can be a mentor and a mentee no matter if you've been on the job 1 day or 50 years.
100%. And I'd also say, Dino, a very important thing, right? Getting the mentorship, building those relationships, very important. You have to take action, okay? So if Fleetus is mentoring you and he says, hey, go do this or go check this out, and then you don't do it and you come back to him and ask the same question, that's not good. Now you're kind of wasting Fleetus's time, and you're wasting your own time. So you've got to be prepared to invest in yourself. There's no easy button. You don't get to just ask Fleetus for answers and then you get the job, right? You've got to put the work in. Kathy's asking Wade and I, this panel right here, if we would be able to join the pre-show banter at Fleetus's Anticast. I looked at my schedule. I'm open, so I will say yes. It's May 21st, Wade.
It's May 21st. Okay, thank you. You read my mind. Let me look. Yeah. My calendar is so filled full of things.
I think 11 a.m. Eastern time. So 8 a.m. Pacific.
I'm not on a work. I gotta look at my work calendar, and I'm not on a.
All right, Kathy. I would say just send the invite.
I'm gonna say yes. Yes.
He can accept tentative. Wade, getting a little in the weeds here. Give TechGrunt the answers. Give him a breakdown on playbooks. What goes in? Is that not an elevator question?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I am like in playbook writing mode right now. It's a lot. I'm finding that I'm liking it more than I used to, which is also even weirder. It's like me aging. The one thing I always make sure is when I'm writing, I'm trying to write to someone who has no experience whatsoever. So if either a new person to come in or someone who's not on my team were able to read it, they could easily understand it. Another thing is I always provide external resources. And if there is internal resources, I'll also add a link to whatever documentation we have. But external resources, especially one thing I do is every single log source in the SEM, I actually have information about it. Why do we have that in there? What kind of detections are we using it for? How are we using it within the organization? Here are some links externally about it. And then here are actual internal notes of like engineering of them talking about and stuff like that. With playbooks wise, the one key thing is to try to keep it as simple as possible and try not to link to too many other documents as you're talking about it, right? It's always crazy when you're reading a document and in that document's linked to 4 other documents. We're like, yeah, you should also read this one and link about this and then go through this playbook. Next thing you know, you're 50 minutes into a 10-minute alert.
Become best friends. Yep.
So keep it simple is, I would say, the most important thing.
I'll add one thing to that, and it's really to pull the GRCPs back into it. Help the analysts understand what that playbook is solving and what their authority is to use that playbook. So it's an appendix, but just tell them, understand that this is the acceptable use policy. This is why we wrote this alert. This is what the MDM policy, help them understand the policy in which this alert is triggering on. So if it is an HR violation, not just a cyber violation, you have a different playbook to run, because I've worked a few of those where it started as a cyber incident and it had to be transitioned to an HR incident because of what the user was actually doing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Those are not fun, by the way. Those are not fun to hand off to HR.
This is why I wrote that ADS is alert detection strategy bot, right? It's pretty much writing you a playbook every time for if a detection fires. And I will tell you, that bot, it gets 80 to 90% of the work done, and I just have to go and tweak it to the organization I'm at most of the time.
Really quick, we've got a community update and super chat. Matthew Rogers came to the U.S. last year in October, so just 6 months ago, as a green card holder from Tanzania, I believe that is. And last December, landed his first job in tech support. Boom! Nice job, Matthew Rogers. Super happy for you. Congratulations. Keep crushing. Thank you for sharing your win with us. I like that. Fleetus, just so you know, you inspire Roswell UK. You inspire a lot of people in the community, but Roswell UK is actually communicating it outward. So thank you for what you do, Fleetus. Fleetus is loving it. Kyle's been asked to host an on-prem AI model. He's looking at Git help desk bots for end users and LLMs for tech support personnel. Any recommendations? Anybody? I haven't played in any of this space. So you got something?
I recommend someone to hit up.
Okay.
If you know Bronwyn or Corvus over at BHIS, so there is a local she did a local LLM talk on, I believe it was an Anticast, which is great. She's done it at a couple conferences. And I know she's always willing to talk to people about it. So if you hit, her name's Corvus on Discord, or I can't remember Bronwyn's last name. It's with an A. And on LinkedIn, she would totally be willing to throw you some info.
Yeah, and Kyle, we've already talked about the agentic AI. Look at those models and see what you can do to load base in. So host it somewhere and load in your knowledge-based articles, your playbooks. I think someone else put in the chat, I was trying to follow through. If you can run it locally, if you've got a Mac or you've got a high GPU, run Olama. Olama's got a decent little engine if you're using it just to get cheap knowledge out quickly. Again, verify what you're asking it. Teach them how to verify what they're getting, because I personally used Olama and it is garbage on some questions. I mean, it is garbage, but it gets me where I want to. And another quote that I like to share, and someone quoted me the other week, treat AI or generative AI as an intern. It's always going to tell you something. It just may not be right. It's going to tell you an answer, and it's giving you a perspective. So treat it as an intern.
That's a good way to approach it. Rule of thumb. I like that.
I do. Me too.
Yasser says, I use AI to understand topics and even create projects when I go to interviews. Should I be transparent about this? What about my resume? Great question. Career question. Fleetus, this is we'll go around the horn. Fleetus first.
Yeah. So it depends on the job that you're applying for and how much you want to disclose. I think, again, we referenced this last week and we briefly talked about it today. It's okay to say that you use it to augment or to enhance and to confirm. Do not come at it, well, I just have AI write that for me. That's not the right sentence. Or I just have an AI bot scrape all the news articles and send them to you. Again, that's a good use case, but wordsmith it in a way that applies. Creating projects, again, give it credit. You're going to see more and more watermarking happening. Yes, you can take some time and remove the watermark, but more and more things are going to watermark your images, your graphs, your text, and it's going to be found. It might not be found the day you submit it, but it will be found as more and more sanitation and checking comes into place.
Wait.
I'm going to say no. So yeah, you can try to wordsmith it, but I feel like it may come across wrong always. And you're more likely to mess up than you are to succeed when talking about that. Good example is I had Google Deep Research, which I highly suggest using. It's pretty crazy. Do a research topic on something I know pretty well, and then I actually took what it gave me. It creates a whole research paper, and then just sent it to a buddy and said, "Hey, I want to do something like this." And he's like, "That's really well written. Did you write that?" It's like, it's a little AI, but this is like perfect. And I was like, "No, this is." I didn't tell him at all. It was perfect. And he's like, "I'm like, no, that's just Google Deep Research." So I would wait until there's too many landmines around it. As long as you can make it improve yourself, and once again, don't let it do all the work. Right? Make it augment you. That's the important part.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, everybody's using AI, right? So like to me, it's the equivalent of like saying you use Google, like, 5 years ago. Like, yeah, like I even saw someone on a resume one time put in under their experience that they're really good at Googling, which I thought was like, true and fun. So
that's a legit, that's
a legit skill. I can Google better than you is a valid reason. I can Google faster and better than you.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, I wouldn't be, here's my thing. Like when you sit down for a job interview, typically it's you and, someone else, and they're working and you're working, and they're probably using AI too. So I don't know about being like, I don't use AI at all. I don't think that that's the right approach. I think it's obvious that you are using it. I probably wouldn't put it on your, on your resume necessarily, because you don't have enough room on your resume to properly communicate the nuance of how you're using AI, right? Now, if you built some type of tool like Wade's ADS tool using AI as like a mechanism, that's something you could put on your resume. But just saying like, I'm good at Claude or I'm good at Gemini, I don't think that that's going to benefit you at this time.
I probably should have put that on my resume now that I think about it. But
yeah. Well, I mean, you could just put a link. Is it on your GitHub or something?
No, it's nowhere. There's some talks, but if someone asks me about it, but that's just me being not smart about it.
Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I would do it. At the end of the day, guys, AI is a skill. I mean, I'm being kind of loose with my terminology, but AI is a skill that basically every professional, I don't care if you're a cybersecurity professional or a financial analyst professional, every professional is going to have to use AI or you're screwed, right? So like that's the TLDR. So including it in your interviews and resume, that's fine, because they're going to know, because they're using it too, right? And in fact, I think the opportunity there is to explain how you're using it. Maybe you're using it in a clever way that would be interesting to the interviewer, right? Also, I will say, and Wade mentioned a minute ago, it feels a little AI-y. I feel like when you see, like, it's just human nature to see patterns, right? Like that's a skill that we have pretty well figured out. Someone commented on one of my shorts, and I'm like, that's 100% a bot with AI. Like, it was like,
I saw that. Yeah.
Comment. You saw that comment, right? It was like, it just jumped out as AI, right? So if you're copying and pasting directly from AI without inserting your own personality and your own thoughts, it's going to be painfully obvious to everybody, basically.
Big words, big syllables, very descriptive. No spelling errors, especially if it's me, right? So
yeah. 100%, yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing right now that, again, to go back to my initial opening, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you right now. If I've commented on your LinkedIn, you're going to get spammed right now. For whatever reason, the bots for these recruiters and HRs are spamming pretty much every post in the last 3 days I've commented on. I've tried to clean them up. So PSA for you, I apologize if I've commented and you've been spammed by recruiters saying, hey, you should connect with me. They're blowing up LinkedIn right now. So on that note, these automation and bots are hilarious, but they're also stupid, for lack of a better. They just drive me crazy. I felt bad yesterday. I was one of my mentees. I was trying to tell him thank you, and all of a sudden someone just blew up that thread, and I was mad. Like, I apologized to him personally, and I was like trying to delete him as quick as they came in. He's like, I didn't get the notification. I was like, good. But it's like, come on, folks. Be tactful.
Be tactful.
Sorry.
So keep the questions coming with the queue. We are meeting with Wade Wells and Fleetus Poston III, both seasoned senior cybersecurity professionals who are interested in helping everyone and anyone who's looking for help. You just got to ask the question. I don't see any questions right now in chat, so I will throw it to the group. There was a story in the news today around Microsoft charging a $1.50 per core subscription fee for hot patching, allowing you to basically patch a server without having to bring it down. Fleetus, just give us 30 seconds on your initial thoughts.
So I thought you handled it very well on stream. So I'll give a little bit more. I think it's a little early to see. I liked your analogy of let's try it out. Let's get vendor lock in place. It's Microsoft's 101. If you try it and I get you stuck, you're stuck with it. I don't think it's going to last. I don't think that many organizations will be comfortable paying per core unless everything is a pet versus, everything is cattle versus a pet. So it has to be something that's spun up and spun down. And at that point, you're not patching. And I think that's kind of what's scaring Microsoft is people aren't having servers that are pets that stay up long-lived anymore. They're spun up via Kubernetes or Docker, and then they're immediately spun back down. Or it's serverless with a Lambda job. So I think this is a play because they're losing out on virtual machines.
There you go. Wade, you got a thought on this one?
Not really.
No,
it sounds like a cash grab.
Yeah, Wade's not really an IT infrastructure, anyways. But I was just curious. To me, it smacks with like petty cash grab, which is not really like Microsoft's bag. Usually they go big game hunting. They don't like nickel and dime like this.
I'm trying to think what would happen if I told someone they need to patch something and they told me they need $1.50. They're like, right. That's gonna be $2.50. Right? $2.50. I'll give that Loch Ness monster.
Go ahead and Venmo me $1.50. I'll get that patched up. Getting back to the dunking on people who are using AI or whatever, I like Zemif's comment in here in chat where like someone builds a log cabin and you're like, oh, you use power tools? Ew. Like, antique hand tools only. All right, here we go. How important is it to learn using command line interface in cybersecurity? Siwi asks. I've got a hot take on this one. Go ahead, Wade.
Oh, I don't think it's critical depending on the tools you're using, right? Or what you classify as a command line interface, I guess. But I will tell you, if you're good at command line, it goes far, real quick. And you look cool doing it. That's
Fleetus, you got something?
Yeah, I think you're going to have to be comfortable in it if you're on a non-Windows based environment, and you're going to understand syntax issues.
Oh, shit.
Thank you for making me huge. Unfortunately, I don't want to see my forehead. That's too much.
I was trying. Hold on. Keep going. Something just happened here. I don't know what.
But no, I think to Wade's point, like you need to know what the tool is running under the hood, so you need to know what commands it's running. But you yourself don't have to run them unless you are the admin on that specific Linux server, or if you just wanted to use PowerShell commandlets to do work inside of Windows. Most of our tools today, depending on the size of your organization, will do it for you via GUI, the graphical user interface. But it's always nice, and to Wade's point, you do look like a sick person when you can go in there and do it. So.
Recently at one of the orgs, somebody asked how many domain controllers we had, and someone went to a GUI and like, oh, it says we have 15. Not instead of relying on this GUI, I typed a PowerShell command that's like, we have 25. Everyone's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, here's exactly from the domain controller telling me everything. And they had to figure out why it was not lining up. So, right. So a lot of the times the CLI will really come in clutch and you'll look like a superhero.
I was going to say, I'd like to, like, in my mind, what happened was it's like a bunch of people crowded around the table and they're like, we are 15, right? And then Wade's got like a hoodie on and his back to them. And he's like, like, just like kind of ninja stuff. Hey, I'll tell you this. I had never thought about this before, but hot take. I believe learning how to run around on the command line interface is more important than learning programming when it comes to cybersecurity, right? And learning programming is not, you don't have to be a software engineer, but like learning Python and learning how code works and stuff is important. I would argue being able to move around the operating system using a command line is more important for your day-to-day activities. It's not a requirement, right? You can function in cybersecurity without it. But being able to not just move quickly, but also like basically the command line interface allows you to do things that the GUI interface allows you to do, but the GUI interface adds an additional layer of abstraction. So there's like things going on in between there, which can cause problems, which can add delay, which can cause all sorts of issues. With the command line interface, you can go right to what you need, and you can start chaining things together. Like an output from one goes as an input to the next, and you can start really doing some powerful stuff, whether it's PowerShell or VI or whatever. Look at any pen tester, right? Like that, most of their tools are written for command line interface usage, right? Not, and again, this is why I think using the command line is more important than developing code, because you can use the code that has been developed by other practitioners. But if you know how to program, but you don't know how to use the command line interface, you can't really use those tools. So that's my hot take on that one today.
There's a really good talk at Wild West Hacking Fest by John Hamm, but it's and he's command line guru. He's also a SANS instructor, and it was pretty much how he caught like 3 engagements using nothing but strings, right? And it's absolutely wild how good he is at it. So
I love it. Really quick, Space Taco says, is this matter for GRC Mafia? It's less important for the GRC side of things, but I do think it is important for your growth and like when you're able to like just
collect evidence, right?
Well, I was about to say that was where I would go. I've had a good auditor who I appreciate. He's like, run these 5 commands and this is what I'm expecting out of it. So he knew what the commands would output. So when I gave him the output, he's like, you forgot a flag. That gave me like, I want to work with that auditor again. He at least understands the flags that he's asking me to run. He knows the evidence that he's actually collecting. He's not just copy and pasting a command that his playbook said he needed output from me. So I gave him some kudos. So yes, I think it's applicable, but it's not a requirement.
There you go. I love it. It's not a requirement, but it's just a general overall skill that you should have, like understanding operating systems, understanding network, and I think command line interface is there. I just want to give a quick shout out too. Speaking of command line interface, one of the earliest experiences I have that got me like really hot and bothered for IT and cyber. Ed Scotus, who's like a long time, Mount Rushmore guy. He's been with SANS for like 1,000 years. He's a really nice guy, by the way. He did a Windows command line kung fu. He's done it multiple times, but he had a video and stuff, and he taught it for a while. And it was all about it was like living off the land before living off the land was a thing. And he was using just basic DOS commands and building them together to make like information security tools, like offensive security ones, like listening devices and scanners and stuff like that. It was so wild to me to see using these commands that I've been using like as a little, student or whatever, using it in a way that was like not the way they were intended. It was super cool. Yes. Oh my God. Just thinking about it gets me excited. Okay. All right. Hey, we're just going to go a couple minutes and then we're going to raid Daniel Lowry, but let's flip it to our panelists. Wade, anything that people should know about or things coming up? Even maybe, by the way, nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Well, I'm gonna get Team Replay.
Team Replay OG shirt. Yeah, go ahead.
I talked about him at the beginning of the stream. I need to hit you up because I want to do a stream with you so we can talk again. It's been a while. Simply Cyber is still, or Simply Defensive is still coming up, right? We have a special episode planning right now. We have a planning meeting today about it, which is going to be spicy. I think that's all I got. Nothing too crazy. If you're in Florida next week, in 2 weeks, let me know, and we can plan to meet up. I'll be there from Monday to Friday. So. All
right. Yeah. If you're going to Hackspace Connor, you'll be in that Florida. It's not Orlando, but it's like
Cape Canaveral. I'll be in Orlando for a little bit too. So if you are in Orlando and I have the ability to, I'd definitely hit me up.
All right. Fleetus, things to share. I know you got that Anticast coming up.
Yeah, I got the Anticast and just recorded another episode for one of your new podcasts. Don't know how much public that is, so to be disclosed. So I just did that this week.
We'll be announcing that at the all hands meeting later today.
All right. I'll leave it there with that one. And then some other things. I've got a few other talks scheduled throughout their year. I'll get them as they get closer. They're mainly in the fall. And then, of course, the Rift situation. I'm about to drop, to be honest. I have a consulting call with someone from my consulting side, so I'm not out of work. So I'm going to be doing that here in 2 minutes now. So that's at least giving me something to do. But a reminder to all of you, I just want to say thank you. The kind words from this community means a lot. I enjoy this community. I'm thankful that I found this community back at the end of last year, and I look forward to seeing where we take this community for the rest of this year. So I'll leave it at that. I know that's a little sappy, but at the same thing, I want you guys to know I appreciate every comment that you guys have sent, every note, and I appreciate the encouragement.
I love it. And a lot of people getting all ooh, like there's a secret coming up. Yeah, so come to the Simply Cyber State of Simply Cyber event at 3 p.m. Eastern time today. It'll be live on this channel, on the Simply Cyber YouTube channel, and you'll get some more information, like reveals, if you will, of what's coming down for Q3, as we typically do. Daniel,
dropping nuggets and trying to leave. So this is fun. This is good. I like it.
Yeah, it is. It's keep on wanting more. Guys, definitely appreciate all of you. As always, we've got Daniel Lowry's IRL coming up just now. It's just waiting for Daniel to hit go live. If you don't know what Daniel Lowry is, he's over at Antisyphon, but he is just a member. He's like just a member of this community, the same as we're members of the the Antisyphon Black Hills community. Guys, on behalf of Fleetus Post in the third and Wade Wells down the bottom, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thank you all so very much. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you guys at the State of Simply Cyber at 3 p.m. Take care. Take care.